back, guys. We're back. Still having some Wi-Fi issues, it seems. I think we're back, guys. Let me know. There we go. There we go. We're back, guys. All right. Sorry about that. We had to take the mic out. We had some Wi-Fi issues. We fixed that. I unfortunately had to take the mic out because we need to charge this battery here. But we can continue where we left off. Leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Did you come from the first round or the second round of streaming? Jeez. Technology. I could actually stream from the MacBook here, but I think the camera on this may be better here on the iPhone. So we're going to pick up where we left off, and this may actually be a good point to transition from talking about ratings, talking about some news here that we had in the quote-unquote itinerary of the first stream here. So we're talking about driver ratings. What's acceptable? How low really is low? Should you be concerned if you have a quote-unquote, I keep saying that, low rating? If you have a 4.4, 4.5, and you're new, is that a problem? All right, let's move on though, okay? New stream, new topic here. So let's talk about, there was some interest in Lift Lux, okay? Let's talk about Lift Lux, what it is, and what are the options, okay? So we're here at the MacBook. I just had a note here. Let's pull up what markets it's in, because Lift Lux, first of all, you can think of Uber Premium. Those are nicer cars, Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, but Uber actually had Uber Lux, which was the highest cars on the platform as far as luxury goes. So let's bring up the article here, which was just posted this week. Black tie, meet your match, introducing Lift Lux and Lift Lux SUV. I'm just doing this to get the markets here, guys. Let's see if it tells us. Our most luxurious ride experience, a black car piloted by a top driver. Lift Lux SUV, all the amenities of Lift Lux and a more spacious black SUV, of course, we know that, six passengers. I'm trying to find what markets it's in. If anyone knows what markets it's in, let me know. I wrote some notes down. I didn't pull up the articles yet. Here we go. Well, this is Lyft Premier. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right. Lift Lux and Lift Lux SUV currently available in, drumroll, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York City, San Francisco, and Silicon Valley. Makes sense, right? Where is the passenger pool for this? LA, New York, San Francisco, Silicon Valley. Those are some of the highest spenders. Chicago as well. Okay, if anyone's in the Chicago market, that's kind of interesting to me. I know it's a big business hub for the country, for Chicago, so I could see how that could fit there. I can see LA, New York City, San Fran, Silicon Valley, absolutely, very expensive, very affluent areas there. So yeah, Lift Lux, I think Rideshare Consultant, if you're still here, I think you're asking about that. Your question was when it's gonna come into other markets. Here in Pittsburgh, you can think of it as a medium-sized market. I mean, we're not really tiny. State College, Pennsylvania, where Penn State is, that's a small market. It's a tiny little market. Pittsburgh, I would say, was a medium to medium-large market. And then, of course, you have San Francisco, New York, Silicon Valley, like they mentioned here, are massive markets. So I don't expect it coming to really any market other than the biggest. Uber has been here in Pittsburgh, excuse me, they've been here in Pittsburgh for about 2.5, almost 3 years, I believe. And we just have X, XL, and Premier. Okay, Premier, you don't have to have a black car, I believe. And what's funny is thinking about Lyft is they have, sorry guys, the table keeps shaking here. They have Uber Premium, they have Uber Black, and then they have Uber Lux, which are all nice cars. So what's the difference, right? I mean, what's even the price difference? Obviously going to go expensive, more expensive, most expensive. Nice car, black car, super nice, super duper black car. And that's basically what it is. So rideshare consultant, if you're still here, yeah, I don't see Lift Lux coming to any other market other than the biggest markets. And that's probably for the next 6 months, I would say, 3 to 5 months at least. There's just not a market for it, okay? And if the drivers that do have nicer cars, for instance, here in Pittsburgh, tell me that the Uber Premier rides are few and far between. All right, business travel, absolutely, okay? If you're bringing in a client, you want to have a nice ride, there you go, you request an Uber Premium. But for everyone else, and here's something that please don't repeat that I have heard passengers do, you may already know where I'm going with this, is that if they scroll over to Uber Premier and then they scroll back to Uber X and the same car is there and it doesn't disappear because the driver has both Premier and X on his or her platform, then they'll just request the Uber X and get the Uber Premier car. All right, now that's if the driver accepts it, okay? And honestly, if I was a Premier driver, I wouldn't accept it. And I know Michael, I'm forgetting your last name, Michael. I think I have an idea. I don't want to mess it up though, but I believe who's driving a Tesla on Uber Premier here, I think in Pittsburgh, I believe, is probably one of those drivers that selectively, for business sake, picks the best ride, which I think anyone should. That's what I do. That's what I talk about in my Maximizing Surge video, is you want to make the most dollars per hour. So you're going to take the smartest runs, okay? And if you're driving a BMW or a Tesla or whatever it may be, do you really want to depreciate that car for 1.0 or 1.10 a mile on Uber X? No, I would hope you wouldn't do that. So if you guys have any questions about Lift Lux, we can go into this article here. I'm just sitting at the computer here. We can go over Lift Lux. If you guys have any questions about Lift Lux, Uber Premier, let me know. It looks like we have 4 people in here right now, which is awesome. Welcome to anyone new to the live stream here that jumped on maybe. We lost connection earlier. But for anyone new, this channel is dedicated to the rideshare space. I help drivers maximize their profits and their ratings. So if you're a driver, if you're a passenger, if you're someone just interested in the rideshare space, consider subscribing. So any questions, guys? We'll move on here. Okay, so let's talk about the next item here, which is, we'll talk about trucks on Uber X and Uber Freight, okay? Can you make money driving a truck on Uber X? Do you know someone who is driving a truck, a Silverado, Avalanche, anything like those, the F-150s? Well, is there a 4-door F-150? I don't know. It has to be 4 doors, of course. Can you make money driving a truck on Uber? Okay. I say no, you can't. I've always been against driving a truck on Uber X. All right. Again, the rates here in Pittsburgh are $1.10 a mile. Drivers I have seen report getting, I don't know, what is that, 14, 15 miles per gallon. The Caliber, what I drive, gets about 22 to 25, depending, city versus highway. So if you're driving 14 miles a gallon and it's base fare, there's no surge, that's a high operation cost, okay? And you're really gonna have to weigh the cost benefit, even taking standard runs. I always say, you should balance demand trends, you should know your market to get the highest rate per mile. So if you're driving a truck and you're doing base fares, I don't advise that. Now, if you can get high demand areas, if you can get a rate of $3+ a mile, really big money, then sure, just weigh the operations of the truck versus how much you're going to get per mile. Uber Freight, a new feature which I've actually seen a demo on, is Uber will contract truck drivers for freight deliveries, much like the name implies. It will kind of show similar to the Uber app. It'll say, hey, we need you to go to Atlanta, Georgia to Orlando, Florida. It is X amount of miles, and we'll give you, I don't know, $600 or something like that. And it would say it's, I don't know how many miles, 400, just spitballing miles wise. So that is brand new, and I'm not in the freight industry space, but unfortunately, with a lot of things Uber related, just from what I've heard, the little that I've heard from truck drivers is that it's not worth it based on the dollars per mile. That with all the miles, it's going to equal about $150 a mile, and what they're getting paid with normal freight is a lot higher than that. Okay, moving on. Actually, let me take this time to talk about, whenever we're talking about ratings, and welcome guys, I see we have a few more people jumping on here. Leave a like if you get value from this live stream. Leave a comment if you want to see any specific things talked about or anything specifically live streamed. Let me know in a comment. Let's talk, we were talking about ratings, and we only have maybe about 5 minutes left here, guys. But I want to give a quick shout out and talk about when I first started driving in October of 2015. There's a lot of great ride share channels on YouTube, and I really appreciate everyone that has subscribed to this channel. We are growing super fast, almost about 150 subscribers a month, which is awesome. We're getting a lot of traction on these live streams. For anyone new to the live stream here, if you happen to bump over to the channel and check this out, I appreciate you guys watching, and we're having some really, really good dialogue in the comments section in the rebroadcast. So I want to give a shout out here to a ride share channel that really turned me on to a lot of valuable information. He is now living in California, I believe, and he has tons of videos that are very, very beneficial to drivers. A lot of walkthroughs, which are very good, a lot of good professional walkthroughs. Good info on the business end, okay, taxes, insurance, has done some pretty deep dives on that. He has a rideshare website, which includes a podcast and a blog, which really goes full on into rideshare. So, shout out to who I signed up with when I first started driving. Harry Campbell, the rideshare guy. I look awful in a hat, so that's why I took it off. Shout out to Harry at the rideshare guy. If you haven't checked out Harry's channel, go check it out. Again, a lot of good channels out there. I also watched Uberman, Randy Shear's channel. You can just search, I guess, Uberman. His channel doesn't have a shortcut for the URL, but yeah, check out Harry's channel here. Shout out to Harry. A lot of good content on his rideshare channel. So lastly, guys, we're going to talk about the Lyft SelfInspection. You saw me briefly comment on this on another live stream. So we're going to we are going to do a video on the Lyft SelfInspection. So what do you have to do for that, okay? If you didn't check your dashboard recently, which I think a lot of us maybe don't exactly jump into a Lyft dashboard quite as often as we maybe used to, but there's a self-inspection, a 16 point inspection checklist that they would like us to do, and you'll just run over your car. You're going to look over the exterior for visible points of damage, brakes, steering, turn signals, all of that. Basically what they do when you get an oil change, just kind of a once over, making sure your car is acceptable. And we can touch on that too as well if you guys would like. What's acceptable when you submit a car to drive for Uber or Lyft. So guys, if you have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section right now. We can touch on a few questions here before we wrap it up. All right, well, I'm not seeing any questions right now, guys, but I do appreciate you watching the live stream here. I love doing these for you. We had some really good engagement before we cut out as well. We had a good amount of people watching. So check out that first section of the live stream. We went over ratings more in depth and talked about ratings for new drivers or experienced drivers. So, your driver Mike here. I hope you guys have a great Friday. Tomorrow, a good weekend, and we'll make some more videos. And hopefully see you guys on a live stream coming up soon. Until then, I will talk to you guys later. See ya. Thanks.